Hello. Hello. Hey, it's actually a lovely day. They said it was going to rain, but it's a lovely day. So we've been out, did the usual, down the fields and what have you. He's asleep in the other room. And he hasn't heard me say hello. Otherwise he'd come running in, wouldn't he? Just before I start this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about depression, because I did mention it in my last video, didn't I, when I showed you all my wares I got from a crystal shop. Just before I do, this is a new thing. As far as I'm concerned, it's a new thing. I've never seen one before, and I've never seen one on a video. I was out the other day, came home, and there's one of these little things. So you think, oh, I got a parcel, I wonder where they've left it. And it says, you can see it says not in, and then it says by hand. Ring this number, action needed, whatever. And it looks like a parcel has been delivered and not in. So you open it, it's a sticky thing all the way around, like that. And what is it? It's a threat. It's from our friends. These people have been writing to me on a monthly basis. Threatening me. They've said they've opened an investigation, or opening an organisation. They've opened an investigation. They've upped their investigation. They've recommended that some goons knock on my door and attend my address, evening, weekends, whenever. Be prepared. I get letters saying, will you be in on the 19th of April? And I was, and nobody turned up. Will you be in on the 26th of June? I was, nobody turned up. I bought bloody tea and biscuits, nobody bothered turning up. So I keep getting these threatening letters. I haven't had a television or a TV licence for about 28 years, either 28 or 29 years. Quite a long time. Don't need one, don't want one. And I get this. They're pretending to be something that they're not, a parcel. And basically this says, I need my glasses on now. Anyway, our officers visit an address every 6 seconds. Sorry about my eyes going like that, but you know, it helps. Anyway, it says, I'm going to forget my glasses, sorry. One sec. I should have got organised. Oh, there you are. Right. So there we go. Now you see it says delivered by hand, not in, delivered by hand. And there's a phone number. Didn't recognise the phone number, but I thought, oh, I've got a parcel. So I open it up because it says in there that I must open it up. So I open it up. TV licensing. Our officers visit an address every 6 seconds. Dear legal occupier, I have no idea who that is. There's only me and Bodie that live here. As there is no records of your licence at your address, your home has been authorised for a visit. Another one. By our TV licence goons. They can drop in, this is the threat. They can drop in at any time. Daytime or evening, weekends or weekends. Sorry, weekdays or weekends. How to stop this visit? Now they just assume, right, how do I stop this terrifying goon arriving at my door? How to stop this visit? Buy a TV licence. Buy a TV licence at tvlicensing.co.uk. Payments start from just £6 per week. Well, that's a bargain. So for me to stop this threat of a man knocking on my door, I've got to go and buy a TV licence. So I should be straight down the post office in the morning. That's disgusting, isn't it? That's just a threat. So, just to be warned, if you get something like that, I just kept it. Normally I'll throw all my letters away and what have you, but this one I saved because I've never seen this before. Non-road user, have you ever seen anything like that? It really does look like you're out and somebody's tried to deliver a parcel. Illegal occupier, eh? Well, so I'm having a Slurpee and I'm going to probably roll a fag as well. But on the back of the video that I made the other day, I'm feeling much better. Much better. So on the back of that video, I had a funny couple of weeks really where I had a dip in my depression. Just felt a bit off, you know. Ended up sleeping quite a lot really, very tired, didn't really want to do much and all the rest of it, and just felt very down, you know. It turned out, as I said in that other video, if you have watched it, in my last video, what happened was I went shopping, just needed a few little bits, that was all, and went up the shop. I left Bodie here, it was a hot day, I don't take him. If I'm not going to be too long, I don't take him, and I don't want him in a hot car, so I left him here. So I go shopping, feeling a bit pissed off really, but I'd felt like that for days. Went into the store, and there was a display of flowers in front of me, and then you got the fruit and the veg over the back. And I just looked at these flowers, walked over to them, and I thought, wow, they're beautiful. There was some absolutely stunning pink, purple, lilac. I don't know what they were, but they were absolutely stunning. I thought, wow, Mum would love them. I'm going to buy Mum a bunch of flowers, because I haven't done that for ages, you know. And it just dawned on me, just as I was that thought was in my head, that Mum's no longer here. And I thought, what the fuck am I doing, you know? Anyway, you know, I felt a bit shit because of that, but I felt a bit shit anyway, so more shit was piled on more shit. I started to do my shopping, got a few little bits, and I just welled up in tears. And I just dumped my trolley, went to the car, and I burst into tears. That was that, you know. I sort of composed myself after a while, thought, what the bloody hell am I doing, you know? But I just felt drained as well, absolutely drained. So I came back with no shopping. Bodie gave me a little cuddle, a big cuddle actually, which is really nice. It's lovely, you know. You can live alone, but if you've got an animal, a pet, something like that, then you're not alone, you know. And he loves me dearly, he gets so excited. I was only 20 minutes or whatever, but he's so excited to see me, bless him. And big long cuddle with him and stuff like that. And I said, I really love you, you know, thank you for being here. Cheers. That was really nice. I think I probably made a Slurpee or something, I can't remember, but I was just saying I was so tired and I thought I'm going to go to bed, you know. And it was morning time, it wasn't much more than 11 o'clock, something like that. I went to bed, but I slept for 3 hours. Woke up and I did feel much better. I felt like I'd released something, let something go, you know. And you know, we don't really need to think too much about it, do we? It was just what it was. And I think the tears were needed. It's unusual for me to have tears, but I think the tears were needed. The cuddle off Bodie was lovely. The sleep was great, and I just felt better, you know. And like I say, I just felt that something had gone. I don't need to put too much thought into what it was, why I was feeling like that. Just a bit of a dip, I think, really, in my depression. Somebody asked me recently, and I never responded, but they said, are you on antidepressants? Well, I am. And again, that is a very unusual thing for me. I've got dysthymia, which is a constant depression, a lifelong depression. I manage it, and really it's no problem. You know, you would never know unless I tell you. I was diagnosed, I think, about 21, and I was offered meds. I said, no, I don't want any medication, you know. And throughout the years, I've been down sometimes, quite deeply down, and I've thought about antidepressants, and somebody's talked me out of them, or I've seen a doctor and they said, how are you feeling, you know, and how's your mental health? And I said, I've been really down. Well, we recommend these and all this stuff, you know, meds, and I've always said no. Last year, I got so depressed, very deeply depressed and I couldn't handle it. I manage. People say they suffer from depression. I don't. I manage my depression. And I could not manage it. I really couldn't. Somebody else had to manage it for a while for me. That's what I think. That's kind of how I feel. So I went to the doctors last year and I was in quite a state, and I did say, yes, I'll have everything. So I did counselling. I did... The initial meds were rubbish, I must admit. And I went back in within 2 weeks and I said, these are not touching me. So she upped the strength of them and they were rubbish. So I went back in 2 weeks later and I said, still not touching me. I need something else. Because I was still all over the place in my head, and that's a long time. That's now a month has gone by with no real help. Luckily, they got me, the counsellor was great. And when I went to see my doctor, I don't know what day it was, but within about 6 days, 5 or 6 days, I was doing my counselling. I did that for 6-7 weeks. I drew it to a close because I think it reached a level, really, and it helped to a degree as well, so that was good. But they put me on a very high dose. I'm on 45 milligrams of the antidepressant that I'm currently taking now. I take one a day. I take it at night time, just before I go to bed. And that has helped to a degree. What I like about it is it's leveled me a little bit. I feel much more level, much more, instead of these spikes that I was going through. So I do feel level, but I'm not zombified at all. If I feel upset, I'm upset. If I feel joyful and crazy, then that's how I am. It's wonderful. I can laugh and joke and smile. Like the old Prozac of years ago when you used to just wander along like a bloody zombie. I would not take things like that, So anyway, cut a long story short, I'm on antidepressants. I think I'm going to be on probably for a long, long time. Some of what I've just been through, I don't know, and I can't pinpoint it at all. Stupidly, I run out of my meds. Stupidly. I'm not really bothered about... I take meds. I've got tendinitis, I've got lymphedema, and I've got osteoarthritis. I'm not bothered about taking meds for any of them. Really, I do, but I'm not bothered. And if I miss a day or two, so be it. But what worries me is if I go and miss my antidepressants, how am I going to be? Anyway, I ran out, I phoned up and I said, look, I'm sorry, but I forgot. And they were okay. They said, well, you can do it online. You can. Yeah, I said, I know that, and I normally would do that, but I've been going through a bit of a dip in my depression, so therefore my head has not been on, And anyway, it was 3 days, but I got my meds. I think it's 3 days. Since then, I've been feeling a bit up and down, but not too bad, So was it the break in the medication that sort of triggered something off? I'm not sure. Don't know. But, I'm on an even keel now. My depression is still here. I know it's here and I can feel it all the time within me, and it's a waste of time pretending that it's not, because when you just put things so far back and you just pretend it doesn't exist, it does you no good. No good whatsoever. You need to deal, you need to manage, you need to live with and work out the best way of living with depression, Along with depression often comes anxiety, some form, some level of anxiety. My anxiety is a funny one, very funny, because the most ordinary task in the world, sometimes I can struggle with, or just, for me, what it is this. Sometimes it's making phone calls. I can make phone calls to my friends. I've got no problem doing that. And I can receive phone calls from my friends, no problem doing that. The work that I do, I have to make a certain number of phone calls per week, and I can do that because I know what I'm doing. Occasionally they phone me and I can do that. But outside of that, I put it off. The officialdom, the stuff that I got to deal with, I put it off. And I put it off and put it off and put it off, so I struggle with that. Excuse me, sometimes opening my mail, I struggle with. And I know it probably sounds ridiculous. If you don't know about depression or anxiety, you probably think, oh, he's a bit mental. You're absolutely right. Because to open an envelope must be the easiest thing in the world, mustn't it? No, it's not. For me, it's not. The other thing is the combination of the depression and the anxiety interrupts my sleep a lot. I don't know, I wake up in pain because of my ankles mostly, but I often wake up and I'm a bit concerned and a bit worried and I have no idea what about. But I feel on edge, I don't feel right, I don't feel happy. So I get out of bed, just sort of wander about, plod around, Sometimes I turn the computer on, I'll put some music on, sometimes I just go and cuddle Bodhi. Might sit and have a Slurpee or whatever, and that interrupts my sleep, and that's nearly nightly, so I don't ever get a great sleep. I've got friends down here at the moment. I don't know if they're coming here today or not, but I said either ring me or text me. I haven't heard yet, so if I don't hear from them after this video, I'm going to go and have an hour's kip. That's what I'm doing today, and then I will see them tomorrow, because we're here tomorrow, so I know that, and that's already arranged. Now, moving into bricks and dealing with, I'm just rolling a fag, moving into bricks and dealing with things like electric or whatever, or council tax or whatever, all that stuff plays in my bloody head. They cannot get it right. People, I get it right, but people cannot get it right. There's something wrong with people. I'm with British Gas, as we know about the debacle of changing my meter over and the electric key and all that nonsense. I'll tell you what happened briefly. When I moved here, I put 50 quid on my key, and it only accepted 30, so I paid the other person's bill of £20, so they owed me £20. Long story, but eventually they wrote to me saying, yes, we do agree, we owe you the £20, we'll take it off of your first bill. And I said, great. Kept topping the meter up with the electric key until I got a proper sort of meter that I understand. And I had 79 quid, I think it was 79, so there was 99 quid all in all, it's 100 quid. Then I get my bill for the full amount, not a penny off. So I've got to phone them up, and I struggle with that. So I phoned them up and I said, look, there was £20 and, there's no record of that. I said, well, there is. I've got a letter here. Let me check your files. They checked my files and they said, no, I can't see it. And I said, well, I couldn't care less. I've got a letter headed from British Gas. Here's the reference number. Let me give you the reference number, And it's all this shit. And it's, that's a different department. That was overpayments. I said, well, I couldn't care less what it is. I'm speaking to you. Oh, no, I'll have to hand you over to overpayments. I said, no, I'm speaking to you. I'm telling you, I'm not paying my bill. And you're the bill person, so I will not be paying my bill. And she shut up. And I said, right, I got 79 quid. And she said, well, how did that happen? And I said, because I put money on the key. She said, what, 79 quid? I said, yeah. So you owe me that. And she said, well, I can't see a record of it. I said, well, then that'd be the key department. So you have to put me through to the key department and then the overpayment department and all the rest of it. I said, I'm fucking sick of this. That's what I said, I said, what are you going to do about it, And she said, well, we'll make your bill nil for now while we sort of investigate. I said, what do you mean investigate? And she said, oh, well, it has to go for an investigation. I said, well, do what you fucking like. And I'll put the phone down. So I've got a nil bill at the moment. I owe something on there, I know. But they promised me that they was going to do that in about 15 or 16 phone calls when I still had the key and just when I changed the meter. I phoned him again and again and again, and we arranged all this stuff that was going to happen. Don't worry, everything's going to be fine, you know. It's not fine. So, when I moved here, I had to change my phone and all the rest of it to Vodafone. And I got my first bill from them, and there was £60 worth of data that I'd used on my phone. So I phoned them up and I said, I've got £60. Oh, I don't know what the bill was, 100 and something, but I said, £60 of data on my phone. She said, that's correct. I said, I cannot see very well to use my phone, my little screen on my phone. So I use nil data every single month. Always have, all my life. I've never once gone into the phone to go onto the internet, never. And she said, oh, right, okay, yeah. Okay, well, I've taken that off for you. I said, well, why was it on there? Why was it there? You know, she said, well, I don't know, just an oversight or something. I said, it can't be a bloody oversight. I don't use it, you know. And then I said, what's this with this bill and what's that? Anyway, eventually she brought it down and down and down. So that was fine. And I paid what I owed. So job done. I said, make sure it's right in future. She said, I will. Anyway, so I get my second bill. I've only had 2 bills. That's wrong. It's £100 more than what it should be. So I've got to, I haven't phoned them yet. I've had it 4 or 5 days. I haven't phoned them yet. But why should I have to keep doing this, you know? And that really, it stirs me up on the inside. It really does, you know, and that don't help. If you're going through whatever you're going through, things like that should run smoothly and easily, you know. So I've got to phone them up. No doubt I'll be swearing at some poor bitch who's working in a bloody office, you know. She don't want to hear from me Monday morning, does she? So it's unfair on her, but it's unfair on me. It's unfair on the customer. You know, you pay all this money, you pay thousands of pounds per year in certain bills, and they can't get things right. I can't listen to me moaning. Apart from that, actually, I'm okay. I really am okay. I'm a little bit low at times and what have you, and I do drop a bit low, but never mind, I bring myself back up and things like that. So, it is what it is. So that's that really, just a chat about me, my depression and what have you. You know, there's not a lot I can do about it. I can just try and look after myself in whatever way that I possibly can. Nice to have my friends down, nice to have a few visits and stuff like that off of people. So that's been nice. It's always nice, you know, to connect with people. So I'm going to have my fag and my Slurpee. And I'm going to go to bed. And the second my head hits the pillow, they're going to phone, aren't they? But whatever, it is what it is, you know. It's all good fun, really. So, I've got a TV licence goon coming round at some stage. Or not. I've only had 2 visits. When I first moved, I live in Dorset now, but when I first moved to Dorset years and years ago, I was only in this house for about 3 weeks and tap, tap, tap at the door. And I was unwise to things then, but still a bit cagey, but I was unwise. And I opened up the door and he said, oh, hello there, sir, have you just moved here? Well, I said, yes, why is that? And he said, I'm from TV licensing. And I said, oh, right. I said, I don't have a TV licence. I don't have a TV. He said, you don't have any TVs in the house? And I said, no. And he said, could I just come in and just confirm that? And I said, no, you're not coming in. And he said, well, we have to, you know, that's law. This is what they said, that's law and what have you. I said, no, mate. I said, I don't know you. He never showed any ID or anything. I do remember that. I said, no, mate. I said, if you want to come in here, you get the police. You're not coming in my house, you know. Anyway, pissed off. Then I got a bit wise to it. And it must have been 15 years later, something like that. I was living in Oxfordshire. And quite early actually in the morning, tap, tap, tap. I opened up the door. And he did show ID. It was a blue card with his name. And he said, "Good morning, sir." And he said, "TV licensing." And I said, "Piss off." Shut the door, and that was that. Never heard another word for years, nothing. But here, they seem to be writing to me monthly, and also in the last bungalow, every single month I get another fretogram from TV licensing. But do keep your eyes open for this sort of thing. I had a red envelope recently, and I know people, Mr. H's Hot Pot, you showed a red envelope, didn't you? Have you ever seen this, Mr. H? I think it's a new thing, I'm not sure. Anyway, enough of me old bollocks really. All in all, we're doing well, we're quite happy really, to a degree. But life is good, and good gets better. Take care then, and be well. Thank you for listening, it does help. Cheers. Be well.